biggest difference between the gameplay experiences was in the packet loss examples. And what causes packet loss? Playing fighting games on Wi-Fi.
You heard it here, folks. Stop playing fighting games on Wi-Fi. Look, I know you guys out there. I know the Nania memes being close to the router is out there, man. Look, Nania is my boy too, but I cannot condone the type of messages that my boy Nania of the Shikis is telling you guys. Do not listen to that man. He is pure evil. I promise you, he is putting you down the wrong path. Don't listen to Nania. Don't listen to myself. I am a Nania player. But anyway. Yo, what's up, YouTube fam? So in today's video, we were playing some Melty Blood. I'm not gonna lie, some of the connections were getting a little bit sus, but it reminded me of a conversation that I had with my training partner not too long ago, and it was about rollback and delay-based netcode, and someone actually linked us a video about someone doing a deep analytical research for Melty Blood's rollback, and it was a pretty good video, so I wanted to give my 2 thoughts on it as we watched it together. But you guys already know we're here for it. Hit the like and subscribe button for more content. If you like everything I've been putting out for Guilty Gear Strive and Melty Blood type Lumina as far as guides, tips and tricks, discussion videos, and more. So don't forget to support your boy, hit the subscribe button, and turn notifications on so you know the next video goes live. I don't know what was going on with that connection. Some of these connections getting a little sus, I'm not gonna lie. Either it's looking like a Dragon Ball Z fight, or if you're on the PC version, it looks like your game's crashing every couple of minutes. I don't know what it is, but I think it has something to do with the actual sync timer of the game. Apparently, when you skip intros, and this is something that happened in like Blaze Blue, and maybe it's just like a Sprite game problem. If I remember correctly, Guilty Gear doesn't have that like type of problem because I think those things are like pre-rendered as far as like how Exar did and stuff like that. So any of like the 3D games have that. I don't think they have these problems. Maybe Tekken does. I don't know. Tekken has some weird stuff, but Sprite games for sure definitely be having like some timer sync issues and stuff like that. It's very weird how it works, and like we always can never skip intros inside of Blaze Blue, BB Tag. This game now, I don't think it like affected inside of Grand Blue, because once again Grand Blue has 3D as stylistic choice, and of course Dragon Ball also has 3D stylistic choice, but these games in particular definitely have some problem with it. You know, chat, it's pretty funny that we're actually on this topic, because when I was playing my training partner and he was thinking about Grand Blue versus, because apparently it seems like the player match lobbies is even worse. So like we could play each other just fine on rank when we first search each other, but when we go inside player match, it's an absolute mess. I don't know what it is about the player match lobbies. It seemed to have more delay even when you don't skip the intros. When you're playing a person that you know you can play in other games, he was saying almost like he'd rather deal with like a consistent delay based in like Grand Blue with like certain people than like deal with something like this. And it brought up a pretty interesting topic. I was like, yeah, I understand what you mean, right? Just the fact that you know what you're getting into, especially with a consistent delay rather than like a bad implement rollback. Like, which ones do you honestly prefer? I'm curious. Like, would you prefer a rollback that doesn't seem like it has the proper functionality, or a delay base that at least you can find a consistent like 2 bar 2 to 3 bar? You rather play that rather than like playing a Dragon Ball Z instant transmission Goku fight. It's a little weird, right? I don't know how many of you guys were here when I was making my earlier videos, but a lot of my videos when I was doing analysis for like the trailers and stuff, I kept begging for there to be some type of beta for the game, at least with a functionality of the rollback. You know how many games you guys remember like the Dragon Ball beta, how that like game was like not functional at the start? Matter of fact, even when the game came out, Dragon Ball FighterZ, like the lobby system didn't work that well. You kept trying to like play people and it didn't work for like a first month. Then you remember the atrocity that Guilty Gear Strive beta was when we couldn't even play the game. They gave us like an extra like 2 to 3 days because it was like not functional. It was so bad it even pushed the game back for a little bit. So this game I don't think is as bad as those, but there are some problems that need to be fixed or addressed with the ports of the game. All of the ports have these issues. I guess people are saying like at least the console is a little bit more functional. They did do a couple of things to fix the PC. When the PC version first came out, it was apparently like almost unplayable, but it's a little bit better now. But yeah, it's definitely a little bit weird. Good Daikin, have you seen the Melty Blood video essay analysis video? It's pretty good. Nah, I haven't seen it actually. There's one of them. Can you link it? The title of the video is What's Wrong with Melty Blood's Netcode? Uh-oh, this sounds like it's about to be juicy.
The lack of Wi-Fi indicator and ping display in Melty Blood type Lumina is a little frustrating. All we have are these connection strength numbers that don't really tell us much of anything. I usually play ranked with connection limited to 3 bars, but I've had some pretty crappy connections full of teleporting and this weird audio play.
You know, chat, it's really funny that he actually mentioned the connection indicators, and it's a conversation in the FGC we've been having for a long time. Why does it feel like when it comes to the actual design of like net codes inside of fighting games, as far as like its functionality, as far as things we can see, the UI design and things that aren't hidden from the players, why does it feel like we're always either trying to reinvent the wheel on these things or we're progressing backwards? All games at the very least should have some type of connection indicator. Like, we shouldn't be playing gotcha when it comes to connections inside of games like Grand Blue Versus, where it's made by Arxis, who is a company that has in every other game had a connection indicator. Now maybe there was something, I don't know, with the actual other company side games that had it that was like, no, you know, don't show connections, don't do that, that's too sweaty, or something. I don't know what it is. But as far as any other game that comes out, it should definitely be there, right? There should be some type of connection indicator for players and stuff like that. But a lot more people would rather see the ping, especially when a game has rollback and it has like a set delayable rollback. It makes it to where it's easier. Now, if you don't know, when this game actually came out, they did tell us that you can actually set the input delay, and per distance you should be able to make the connection a little bit more stable. But the thing is, we don't know the distance of our opponent without knowing the ping, because we know that connections lie. Like, connections do lie. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, there's this clip from Street Fighter 5 from NYC's Furby's Twitter, and they were basically talking about the MS that they were actually showing on their router, rather than the showcase of Street Fighter 5 bars. Now, it was showcasing a 2-bar actual connectivity on the actual in-game, but with the player they were playing, is actually apparently 8 to 10 ms, and he's basically feel like they're almost playing offline, right? Like, they're both on fiber, yet it's saying they have a 2-bar connection. So look at this Twitter quality. See, by the way,
bars lie. Look guys, it's 2 bars. It's 2 bars.
So the bottom left, you can see that it has the indicator.
That's why, like, this fucking game is so fucked up. It's bullshit. It's not 2 bars. Like, it's actually lag free. Look, you guys saw the proof just
lag
now.
free.
I just showed you.
So you see it right there at the bottom, 10, 8
on the bars.
So very consistent connection, but it says 2 bars. And he's doing this by using his router inside the he has like a router that shows the MS.
See, the bars lie. Look guys, it's 2 bars.
Now, this could just be a Street Fighter 5 problem, but I'm guessing when it comes to rollback, especially once again if the game has a set variable delay, then this will be very good for people, because they can actually see the ping and actually play further away people with being able to set the delay that they need in order to play them, if they can visually see the ping rather than some backlog UI like bar connector that isn't really properly displaying what they actually need to see.
Last night I played some sets with a friend that I had a 2-bar connection to, and things felt just fine. So why do some 3-bar matches feel awful, while some 2-bar matches feel good?
Didn't we just talk about this?
The weird choppiness at round start. And how does Melty Blood type Lumina's netcode stack up against Guilty Gear Strive's? I decided to do some testing and find out. I tested the netcode by playing people different distances away from me to test how far away someone needs to be from Minnesota before the netcode breaks down.
Oh no.
I then pinged the person directly to have an actual latency number to attach to the experience. We played 2 matches each, one where we let intros play, and one where we mashed through every part of intros to see what the difference was between the 2. All tests were done on PC with wireless.
That's pretty good testing.
I have my local delay set to 2 frames. Alright, let's dive in. First, Minnesota to Southern California. Ping to his location was about 80 milliseconds. Honestly, these matches felt great. It didn't feel different from offline at all. No issues, no bugs, no complaints.
That's how it should be. That's proper rollback functionality.
Next, I played someone in Norway. Ping round trip was...
This is where it starts to get a little choppy.
Milliseconds. This got a little chunky a few times, but honestly it felt pretty okay. You can hear quite a few moments where the audio does this odd double glitch where you can hear the sound sample play twice, like there's some sort of really quick echo happening.
So if you guys don't know what he's talking about right there, have you guys ever played Guilty Gear and the game says counter and then all of a sudden the opponent is blocking and stuff like that? Weird audio issues where the game actually rolls back but still plays the audio cues of like the opponent getting hit and stuff like that. There's even some weirder things happening too that can happen in Guilty Gear Strive that I've seen, where if the opponent is on their like last life, the game will like act like it's showing the win screen like you won, and all of a sudden the opponent is attacking you or some crazy mess like that. Or it will just lock out the music because the game thought you won, so the music cut off and stuff. Some very weird things that can happen with rollback and stuff like that when the connection starts to get a little choppy. So I understand what he's talking about when he says stuff like that.
Finally, I played someone in southern Russia near the Ukrainian border.
5,000 miles?
193 milliseconds. This is over 5,000 miles.
That's
away.
unplayable.
Almost any game is going to start falling apart above 150 milliseconds ping, so I didn't have high hopes. And honestly, this felt better than playing the guy in Norway. The connection felt just fine. I could tell there was some rollback and a few frames were being shaved off from some attacks, but apart from that and maybe 5 seconds of that audio doubling glitch, it felt just fine.
That's crazy.
From playing locally. So what's going on here? Why did a 193 milliseconds ping game to someone over 5,000 miles away feel better than
Random from Reddit
connections I've played in ranked? First, let's talk about skipping intros. My theory is that the two games try to start the match at the same time, but they end up finishing loading past the character portrait screen just a few milliseconds apart from each other.
The sync timer,
the game
right?
needs those character intro moments to let the two machines sync up with each other before the game
Yeah.
starts. It's a pretty minor thing that fixes itself in the first couple seconds of gameplay if you skip the intros, but also like, don't skip the intros. Let them play and your game will start better. Alright, so back to why a 5,000 mile distance felt fine. I had a hunch, so I used a utility that let me imitate different kinds of network
Oh my,
issues.
this guy did a lot of work for this test.
California again, and we played a few more matches.
That's kinda
I tried
crazy.
using different levels of mixing latency and packet loss, up to an insane 580 milliseconds ping and 20% packet loss. Here's 180 milliseconds ping and 10% packet loss. 10% packet loss is the line where you'll notice serious issues with video calls or really anything real time on the internet.
Yeah, this the Dragon Ball
starts to become
teleporting.
really rough.
This way of testing is too big brain for me. It is a little big brain, I'm not gonna lie. The way he's testing things and like trying to like see his hypothesis and stuff like that is going a little step and beyond. So shout out to this guy actually put in his work and actually put out this video essay for this. This is a lot of good work. I will definitely put the link down in the description below for this because I'm pretty sure I'm probably gonna make this into a YouTube video. But the thing that I think is interesting here, obviously, is just even though it's crazy as far as everything he's doing, basically all he's pretty much saying is like the game needs time to sync. So don't skip intros, and of course everybody needs to be wired up for sure, and distance plays a big factor inside of things. But he's about to talk about something that's going on in the background, I'm guessing, to where even further distances sometimes make the game even feel better than some like other distances that are a little bit closer. So that sounds pretty interesting. I can't wait to hear what he has to say about that. 280 looked very good. That's kind of crazy.
Guilty Gear Strive and ran those same tests. 180 milliseconds latency, 20% packet loss. And this is a little wild. Strive still felt just fine.
Wait, so even with the packet loss, Strive was good?
The biggest difference between the gameplay experiences was in the packet loss examples. And what causes packet loss? Playing fighting games on Wi-Fi.
You heard it here, folks. Stop playing fighting games on Wi-Fi. Look, I know you guys out there. I know the Nania memes being close to the routers out there, man. Look, Nania's my boy too, but I cannot condone the type of messages that my boy Nania of the Shikis is telling you guys. Do not listen to that man. He is pure evil. I promise you, he is putting you down the wrong path. Don't listen to Nania. Don't listen to myself. I am a Nania player. But anyway, yeah, Wi-Fi is a big thing when it comes to packet loss. Like, even if you're close to the router and stuff like that. That's when people ask me about Switch versions. I know Switch can go Ethernet with like it being docked and stuff, but I just feel like most Switch players are on Wi-Fi, man, and fighting games on Wi-Fi is just not it, Chief. It's just not it. Everybody has to be wired up when they come fighting games. It's just one of those things. And I know a lot of developers still don't want to put Wi-Fi indicators within games because they feel like it discourages those players that don't have a fortunate enough a situation to be able to play the games that they love, which in a sense I understand that it is a bit discouraging, you know, because some of these people that play fighting games are mad young, right? You got a 14, 15, we got mad young people coming into the scene, and they probably got like a room like way out from like the router that's probably in the living room, and their parents won't let them put the LAN up, so they're just stuck, right? But they still want to play fighting games. It is a very sad and interesting situation that some individuals have to go through, unfortunately, and stuff like that. So I understand the frustration when it comes to that. Wi-Fi indicators are a bit of a controversial topic right now, and a lot more people want them to be inside of games. I'm very interested to see how this conversation is going to go in the future for sure.
I don't care how close to your router you are. If you're on Wi-Fi, you'll have packet loss. How much packet loss is normal? Having over 10% packet loss is unfortunately pretty common. The majority of Wi-Fi users are probably looking at less than 10% packet loss, but you're going to run into those 10% or more packet loss users pretty frequently. Just for fun, I hit the guy from California again, and we played some rounds at 5% and 7% packet loss.
That don't sound too bad.
To be perfectly honest, both felt just fine. But Guilty Gear managed to hold together just fine all the way up to 20% packet loss.
That's some good netcode.
So what's going on here? The only obvious thing is that Guilty Gear Strive's netcode is better at handling packet
That's
loss.
what it sounds like.
We can guess as to why. Maybe Strive's packets contain...
That is a huge block of text that we're actually not about to read. But one thing I can say about Guilty Gear netcode that this game actually didn't do, Melty Blood didn't do, was once again testing the game before it came out. So Guilty Gear had two tests. We was able to test the delay netcode that they had in the first beta, and then we actually did the test for the actual rollback netcode. Now they actually pushed the game back, and this gave them extra time to actually work on this. Now I think they were actually trying to work on the lobby functionality a little bit better, which that thing is still atrocity. So many problems with that thing. I don't know what's taking them so long to actually figure out how to actually fix that thing. Is just mad whack. It's mad whack right now. But it probably gave them time to fix some issues that they probably saw within the actual rollback itself. And this is probably why it feels so good when people actually can play the game at this. I think it will be even better too if they eventually allow us to set our own delay. I believe the game has a set delay of like 2, which is nice. But once you start getting further out, you want to be able to set a little bit more delay. So I think the most probably anybody will ever want to set is probably like 3 to 4. But, you know, 3 to 4 delay, but having a consistent connection to where it feels functional, I think will be good. So I think people want to be able to set a little bit more delay to be able to play people a little bit further out, because we can have these cool, like, you know, showcases with like West Coast versus Japan, East Coast versus Europe, that these players are doing and are making these like nice exhibitions for. But the connections still aren't the best, but we can make them even better if there was a set delay. So Melty Blood already has the set delay in there. It's just there's something on the back end that's making it to where it's not working as properly. Maybe there's more Wi-Fi players in this game, who knows? But one thing he's saying before is it actually just holds packet loss a lot better. So because of that, even if players aren't on that, and because there is the time sync issue, these are just 2 problems that are just sort of messing with the connection of the game overall. But yeah, that was a pretty well-made video analysis for Melty Blood type Lumina Netcode. I'm not gonna lie. Thanks for actually link that inside the chat. That was very interesting. Also, can we give that man a few more subs? He only got a few subs right now. Like I said, I'm putting the link down in the description below if this is gonna be a YouTube video. It probably is, and I'm gonna link it inside the chat right now real quick for you guys. Yo, Dyken, you trying to play some sets in Melty? I'm on Wi-Fi though. Yeah, see me in current code. Yeah, come see my Nania, bro. Yeah, that's the only way I'm playing you.